Hello and welcome back to My Own Worst Enemy. I am your host, your referee, your players, everything rolled into one, Mike Colello. We are getting ready to look at another turn of Across 5 Aprils, Battle of Pea Ridge. And if you watched the last video, I went ahead and advanced the game turn marker all the way up to turn 11. I don't know why I did that. There's a night turn in this game. There is a night turn, so we're really on turn 10, not turn 11. So what that means, what does that mean? Well, what that means is there is a night turn per the rules. Very, very, very short section of the rule book. Basically, it says a night turn, there are no combat phases, so these combat shit markers will not go into the cup. There will be no combat. No combat at night. Makes sense, right? And then let's see, what else do they say? A unit cannot enter an enemy zone of control unless the hex in question is already occupied by a friendly unit. Of course, they can still leave a zone of control. So basically what we're going to have here is some, it's night, no fighting, so we're going to have some maneuvering going on. And this is also an interesting point to talk a little bit about solitaire play, I think. So what this night turn affords is the chance to move your forces around. And if we grab, where did it go? So this is the exclusive rules for this particular battle. And in the back of this rule book, there are designer notes, and they talk about the battles. So here you can see the Battle of Pea Ridge is back here, and it talks about how this battle went. And I was reading this before I went on live. Basically, what we're seeing happening here isn't that far off of what happened historically, with the exception of, I believe, that things were going much, much worse around Leetown for the Confederates. So basically, what actually happened at night was it Van Dorn, I believe? Van Dorn? Yeah, so Van Dorn, he was up here. He knew that there were problems in Leetown, it says. So what he did at night is he decided to pull the remnants of McCullough's division down around Leetown back up to Elkhorn Tavern. So he was trying to get help back up to Elkhorn Tavern to hold on to that, which makes a lot of sense because that's where we are. That's what's happening. We have Union forces outside of Elkhorn Tavern, but the Confederates are holding it. And things look hopeless really down here at Leetown because we have all these units. The Confederates only have, I think that's an artillery piece underneath there. We'll take a quick look. Yeah, so they have artillery and 2 brigades. Well, that's not going to, I say well, but we saw how combat works in this game. It really doesn't seem like a lot, though, so it probably is a good idea. If the Confederates want an attempt at victory here, it probably makes sense to pull these troops back up to try to help hold on to Elkhorn Tavern, because remember, all the Confederates need to do is hold one victory location, Elkhorn Tavern, Union HQ, or Leetown. Well, they're not going to get anywhere near Leetown or Union HQ, I don't think. But they might stand a chance of holding on to Elkhorn Tavern, I don't know. So one of the things you can do if you are playing this solo and you weren't sure or you wanted to change up this a little bit and introduce a little unpredictability in your opponent, say you're playing as the Union, one thing you could do here, now I know what I think I'm going to do. I think I'm going to follow the historical route and pull these troops back up to Elkhorn Tavern. But let's say you're playing the solitaire and you're here, it's night, and you don't really know, but you don't really want to know what's going to happen, what the Confederate player is going to do. One thing you could do is you could assign probabilities to this. And so this is something, as I continue with this channel, I'm going to try to talk more about ways to introduce some solitaire assists when you're gaming like this. And like I said, in this case, don't think it's necessary because I'm going to follow the historical route, and I think it makes the most sense. But if you wanted to have a little uncertainty, what you could say here is, all right, it's night. I'm going to say there's probably a 75% chance that they are going to follow the historical route and they're going to pull these troops up to here. But let's also say there's a chance that maybe what they want to do is fight around Elkhorn Tavern and continue fighting around Leetown. So what I would do is if I wanted to introduce that, uncertainty for the Union side of what the Confederates might do, I would just simply assign probabilities and roll dice. I would say let's say there's a 75% chance that the Confederates are going to follow the historical route and pull these troops up to Elkhorn Tavern. And then there's a 25% chance they're going to stand in place and fight at each location. I would just take two 2d10s, probability dice, 1 in 100, and I would say 1 to 75, they're going to follow the historical route, and 25% chance, anything higher than a 75, then they're going to stand in place and fight. You could even go one step further and say if I roll 100, they're going to try to go from Elkhorn Tavern down to Leetown. That would be crazy though, because I don't, with the terrain, they would never get down there, but you could do it. And then you would roll. You'd simply roll and say, all right, what do we get? Well, we got an 11. So they're going to do the historical route and pull the troops up to help defend Elkhorn Tavern. If I had rolled a 91, then I would have them stand in place and fight. So just a quick little way you can introduce some little uncertainty as to how this thing's going to unfold, if you're so inclined. But like I said, I know what I'm going to do. We're going to follow the historical route and try to get these reinforcements up to hold on to Elkhorn Tavern. So with that said, game turn is on 10, night. No combat chits in the cup. I don't want to put those on this too far away because we are going to have to use those again. And we will put the remaining chits into the cup. So this ought to be a quick night turn, I would imagine, since all you can only do is move. So let's go ahead and pull a chit out of the cup. And we get the 4th Division for the Union. That's Carr. And that is up here. I will not zoom in because I think this is going to happen so quick. So what the Union might want to do here is, let's see, we have an artillery brigade. So we have 2 artillery and 3 brigade. And we also have this cavalry unit back up here that we've discovered is good for creating zones of control. What we might want to do, and actually there's another artillery sitting back here. Yeah, we might want to start maneuvering into position to try to take the Confederates out of Elkhorn Tavern. So I think what I might do is bring, let's see, this artillery can move 3, that's clear, so it could go 1, 2, but it could not get up to here. So let's bring the artillery up forward with this brigade, and oops, what did I do? I'm moving the wrong guys here. So I think I do want to do that. I don't know that, let's see, this is Carr's division, the 4th Division. Both of those units are. I think I'm going to leave them there. And this is Carr's division, but he's with his artillery. And this is the problem when you split up your division. So I've got a Carr's division, but underneath him I've got one of those yellow divisions that I can't move right now. And I kind of wanted to keep those together. And then we got Independence back here. So I think what it might be best to do is just to get this brigade. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. I could move him up to here. That would start our positioning in. You can also move into, so that's forest, that'll be 2, and then these are, I don't think it's an embankment, I think it's probably just hill, so that'll be 2 to enter those. So he could go 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do that. So let's move this brigade 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to leave these in place. I don't think there are any more of the 4th Division on the map, but I need to look because I have split them up. That looks like it. So that's the 4th Division. That's all we're going to do. We'll pull another chit from the cup. And we get McCullough's division. Again, following what happened historically, we're going to try to rush these Confederate McCullough's division units up to Elkhorn Tavern. I think they're all, at this point, McCullough's division. They are. So let's go ahead and start down here. We're on a trail, so I can go 1, 2, 3, 4. And this brigade can go 1, 2, 3, 4. And this artillery can only go 3, so you can go 1, 2, 3. So they're going to start trying to come back around up this trail to reinforce. And let's see. I'm pretty sure, so this is night, and then we still have 1, 2, 3, 4, so we've got 5 turns. So they've got more than enough time to get up there and assist with combat. So it's not, I mean, it looks like it's going to be a long haul to get up there, but game-wise, I don't think so. I think it's going to be, I think there's plenty of time to get up there and try to assist, try to help. What's going on at Elkhorn Tavern? All right, let's pull another chip. McCullough's division again. See, they really wanted to move up there and help their buddies. Next chip is the independence for the Union. So let's see. Let's see what is going to happen here. We have independence up here. I think it's the only 2 we have are up here. Oh, no, wait, that's not an independent. That's that artillery. Just the one here. I think there's an independent down here. Thought there was. There's not. So it's just the artillery. I think we're going to keep the artillery with this brigade. So we're going to go 1, 2, and I'm going to put him under that brigade. And that is it for the independence. Another chit. It is the Missouri State Guard for the Confederates, and they're up here. I think those are both, yeah, they are. So we're going to leave those in Elkhorn Tavern. They are going nowhere. They're going to try to hold that best they can, because that's their only hope, really. Oh, and you know what? I forgot. We did pull the independence. I forgot about the cavalry sitting up here. I should have moved him. I'm going to move him just up to here to try to create that zone of control problem. Well, let's actually move him over one more. Let's put him here. No, let's put him here. Let's put him right there to create that zone of control problem. And the Missouri State Guard will not move. They're going to sit there. Let's pull another chip. They're going nowhere. They're having a nice beer. They're sitting in the tavern. No, I don't think they're doing that at all because they're being surrounded by Union forces. We have the 3rd Division Davis down here. Now we got to decide what is going to happen here. We know these Confederates. We've gotten word that, hey, their Confederates are on the move. Their campfires went out. They're pulling back. We think they're heading up towards Elkhorn Tavern. So we are going to pursue, and we have 1, 2, 3. We have 3 of these units to move. So a couple choices. We'll start with the artillery. We can go this way with the artillery. It's probably the only way we can go. We're trying to rush him up there. No, we can actually go this way too. 1, 2, 3. Let's do that. Let's move the artillery 1, 2, 3 along this trail. This brigade can go 1, 2, 3, 4 and actually catch up with that artillery. Got to be careful. Don't want to leave this undefended, although I don't think it's going to matter. These Confederates aren't going to come back down here. There's certainly not enough time to go up and back. So I'm going to leave this unit in Leetown. And we may move these other units out. So, all right, back to the cup. Back to the Chit Cup. And we pull the Missouri State Guard again. Well, they've already gone, so let's pull another one. And we pull 1st Division. 1st Division is here, and I think we do want to pursue, so we could go 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's move them that way. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're going to try to keep up with these Confederates as they run off to assist or do whatever it is they're doing up there. We will draw another chit, and we get that right wing Siegel unit, looks like. So that's down here. I am going to move, we have this artillery. I'm actually going to move the artillery into Leetown. We'll leave it, let's put it underneath the, no, let's put it on top because it's a little stronger. Be nice to know it's there. And I don't think let's see. Well, we do have the brigade up here that's also part of that right wing division, that Siegel division. We're going to leave him there. That's it for that. we'll draw, I think it's the last chip in the cup. It is, and it is 2nd Division Union. So we do have one of those. 2 of those, actually. We have one up here, one down here. We are going to 1, 2. I don't want to get too tied up. Well, I don't know. Like I said, they're moving. So let's just move him forward 1 this way. And this artillery, I'm just going to move to here with the plan of stacking him with that brigade wherever it ends up. So that is it. That is all the chits that were in the cup. No combat. Again, going back just for a second to some solitaire play, if you were, again, wanting that uncertainty, you could stop again at the end of this turn or the beginning of the next turn and think about, you know, what do you want to continue this plan, or do you want to try to do something different down here? Little things like that, just to kind of spice up the game a little bit, or just make it different. If you played this scenario before, play it again and try something different. But that said, we are done here, so now we can move this game turn marker up to turn 11. And this time, all the chits will go back into the cup, because we are at up 7 a.m. and everyone is, I was going to say well rested, but how can it be well rested when they're running around everywhere? They're a little more rested, I guess. I don't know. So let's see. We are going to, let's see, how much time have we got here? Well, let's keep going, since that was a fairly quick turn. And we're back into the daylight hours now, and there's the potential for combat. So let's go ahead with day number 2 beginning. It is March the 8th, 7 a.m. And we pull a chit, and we get, that is the 3rd Division, which is the artillery unit that was up here. And I think, let's see, the hill. Now, can an artillery move onto hill? That's a good question. And you're probably thinking, that's a stupid question. Of course artillery can go on hill. Well, yeah, but there's embankments and there's hills and there are rules we have to follow, and I'm pretty sure they can. So we look at the terrain effects chart. Yeah, see, there's no little superscript next to that too. If there were, it would say like swamp here, where it says artillery cannot enter this hex. So of course they can enter the hill. Make sure it's not an embankment. It's not. So they will simply move up to here and join up with that brigade. All right. Was that the only? No, we still have this unit, which is also part of the 3rd Division. I really wished I had split those units up now. It just makes it harder to keep track of, but it is whatever it happens to be. I don't really want to move him up because I don't want to initiate any combat here. I'm going to let him sit there, and we will pull another chit out of the cup. And it's the Independence. So we have the cavalry up here, and I think we had an artillery unit under here. We do. I think I'm going to let them sit in place. Well, let's think about this, because we haven't pulled the Union combat yet. I forgot it's still out there. So we could start to work towards an attack. Maybe we can push these Confederates out of Elkhorn Tavern. It is clear terrain. They are looking at, looks like 12 is their defense rating, so we'd have to have a pretty strong attack going in there, which I think basically would mean bringing up all of these units to conduct that attack. Have to be careful though, because I have mixed my divisions, and I need everybody in place before that combat chit comes out. So it's really risky to maneuver like that. One of the uncertainties that having that combat chit come out once a turn introduces into this game. So with that said, do I want to go ahead and move the artillery forward? See, that's risky, because if I do and the Confederates pull their combat chit first, that would suck. To say the least. Gonna leave them be for now. I'll try to get some more units into place, see what's going to happen on the battlefield before we do that. Maybe the combat chit for the Confederates will come out, and that'll answer the question a little bit better. We pull. This is the right wing again, the Seagull right wing. And see, I should have moved that artillery, because I could have moved this unit up with it. So now what to do? I kind of think I've blown it here as far as moving. Now, I think I'm going to leave, let's leave them there. And this artillery's not going anywhere. And I don't think there's any more of those blue units anywhere. All right, back to the chip hole cup. That was dumb. I should have moved those units. I should have got them into position. It's risky, though. You can see the risk. It could have gone the other way. The Union gets to move yet again. It is the 1st Division, so that's going to be here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and I believe that is it. I don't think, is that it? Yes, that is it. So we just have that one unit who's running ahead of the Confederate stragglers over here. All right. There might have been one under that artillery, but they're not going anywhere. And so now we pull the 4th Division. Look at this. It's all Union movement. The Confederates aren't going anywhere right now. So could this alter things? It could alter things. It could alter what the plan is for the Confederates. So the 4th Division is up here. And now we've really got to decide if we're going to commit this turn or wait till 8 a.m. to move our forces. And I tell you what, I am not going to move towards Elkhorn Tavern. I'm not going to do it yet because I think I kind of blew it when I didn't move these units. Forward, I could have moved those forward here, could have had that one there, and that would have been, I felt a little better about the attack. But I'm not going to move those units, or these for that matter, not right now. So let's leave them be. This might be a very fast turn too. And another Union marker. It's the 3rd Division. I assure you, I am not sitting here cheating by pulling Union markers. I wouldn't anyway, because I don't know what good it would do. That's down here. And these are weak units. So let's see, 1, 2, 3. I'm going to move them up 1, 2, 3. The artillery's holding them back because they can only go 3. So let's do that. I don't think I want to move anybody else. Anybody else that's green, of course. So, all right. Back to the chip pull cup. The Confederate combat marker is out. And see, this is where if I'd moved these 2 units forward, it probably would have not been such a great thing. I don't know. We'll find out. So actually, there's nowhere combat can occur this turn. Nowhere combat can occur. So let's go back to the chip pull cup. You can see why I am my own worst enemy here, right? The next one is finally it's a Confederate marker. It's the Missouri State Guard. The Missouri State Guard can move, but let me tell you what, the Missouri State Guard isn't going to move because they're in Elkhorn Tavern. They're staying right there. Well, let's go ahead and pull another chip out of the cup. It is McCulloch's division. So finally, these stragglers can continue their voyage towards Elkhorn Tavern. Now this is another spot where if you were playing solitaire, you wanted to introduce some more of that unknown element to your game, you would stop here again and you would go get your percentile dice or however you want to choose these percentiles. It doesn't really matter. I like percentile dice though. And you would say, all right, so now the board has changed. Do they continue to move up towards Elkhorn Tavern, or do they just say, hey, wait, let's swing back around now and try that. Now that we've drawn these forces east, let's go back and try to take Leetown again. You could do that. I'm not going to do it, but that's another way of introducing, more uncertainty as you play these games solo. So I'm not going to do it though. We're going to continue our run up to Elkhorn Tavern to try to pull a minor Confederate victory out of this game if we can. Got to be careful. We do have Union units moving on the other side of this creek, so we could move 1, 2, and then we have already pulled the combat chip for the Confederates. 1, 2, 3. But you know what? That's actually a good thing for the Confederates, because if we do move up adjacent to this stack, I don't think they're going to be attacking us because they are weak units. It's across a creek. We're in the woods, and being the attacker in a situation like that in this game is not good. So I think we are going to go 1, 2, 3. And this unit can go 1, 2, 3, 4, and our artillery can go 1, 2, 3. So that's going to be the remnants of the McCullough division heading up towards Elkhorn Tavern. And now we pull Missouri State Guard again. We're getting all the Confederates. I knew that was. I knew it. I knew that would happen. I knew I'd pull the second Missouri or the McCullough's division. We get all the Confederate markers at the end here, and then finally we pull that Union combat chit. So there's going to be no combat up here, and there's a potential for combat here. But like I said, I don't think that they're going to want to be attacking anybody because they're attacking into the woods. So that's going to be a 2 shifts, not a hill. It's a 1 shift left on the attack, and then there's across a creek. So there's another shift to the left, and no effect on bombarding across that, of course. So it would be, and these are weak units. 2, 2. What is that under there? I can't see what that is. That is, it's one of those super units, I think. It's really hard to read the yellow. Yeah, that's 9. So that's 14. No way. So they're not going to attack. They're going to have to do one of those withdrawals. And what they're going to do is just withdraw. And that's why they're so weak, is because they are already 1 step loss on each of those units. So they're just going to move up to there. Yeah, I think that's going to be it for this turn. All right. There you go. That was a super fast turn. And that's because, well, 2 reasons. One, because I kind of blew my... I really blew my orders to my forces up here. I really should have moved those units forward, but I didn't. I'll remember that going into turn 12. And we also have the remnants of McCullough's division trying to race up here, so not a lot of combat there. So what we will do is we'll move the game turn marker now to 8 a.m., turn number 12. That'll give us another reinforcement that comes in. If I can read that, it looks like it is at C, the C location. So this will come in over here. This brigade will come in at C. That's going to be our final reinforcement of the game. And we will put all of the chit markers into the cup again. Let's do that. And when we come back, we will do turn number 12, 8 a.m., and we will see how this turns out. As always, thank you for watching.